Hey everybody, I'm Blitz. Welcome to another channel update video. Today, I'm going to talk about some personal news, weekly schedule, upcoming games, channel insight, and showcase one of my favorite indie games. A good old classic from about 2 years ago. Isn't that weird? Classic indie game from about 2 to 3 years ago. Anyway, today is the 20th of October 2015, and we are playing a game called Awesomenauts. It is a side-scrolling MOBA. It's kind of my guilty pleasure game. I've got about 600 hours into it, and it's the game I played before I started doing YouTube. Basically, I'd play the game for, if I install it, I play it, and then I play it way too long, and then I don't have time to make videos, and basically it's a bad deal. Anyway, this is the first game I played in about 6 months, and you can see how it goes. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. Down below, video description has more information if you are interested in it. It goes on sale all the time for like super cheap, so you can pick it up if you wanted to. Anyway, I want to especially thank my patrons, all of them that are supporting me on Patreon, as well as Hip, Logan, and Brooker for sponsoring me at the higher tiers. Really do appreciate all the support you guys are giving me through there. So let's move on to some personal news. Well, I guess we can start with Mini Blitz. The little guy is he just passed 10 months. He's 10 months and 10 days old, and he just took his first step on Monday, like unassisted, standing on his own, took one step, and then proceeded to fall over and kind of goes splat. And he's got like he's got 4 teeth in his little mouth, and then he's got like 1 extra that just started to cut through tonight. And he's still big. He's still at the top of his height charts. He's actually growing out of 12-month clothes, and he's only 10 months old. So we're gonna have a big gulp of water on our hands when he grows up. That's good. Maybe he can support me by playing basketball professionally or something. Not if he has the coordination like his dad, that's for sure. Anyway, now, let's get into some more of the fun stuff. So, you guys did know at the end of September, or I guess the last video I kind of talked about it, end of September, beginning of October, my mom had some health issues, and my wife and I drove up to spend some time with them, with my parents and her parents, and then I had a cousin get married too. And basically, she's doing a lot better now. Kind of the brief of it, she had a sinus infection and an ear infection, and they had to drain the ear infection, like surgically drain the ear infection, and then they put her on antibiotics, and she had an allergic reaction to the antibiotics, and then they put her on something else, and she ended up getting a virus that attacked her heart, which was kind of weird. So the doctors went in and they drained the fluid around her heart. It was kind of an emergency surgery. Like her sinus infection, ear infection went away, and she was good. Like everything was fine. And then all of a sudden, she went into a checkup, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, yeah, we're gonna do a surgery tomorrow on you." And it'll be a 2-day or it'll be a 1-day, like a couple hour surgery, and then we'll let you out of the hospital the next day. Not too big of a deal. We're only going to cut through your sternum, wire it shut, and install a foot of hose into the sac surrounding your heart that is now full of fluid. And then we'll drain the fluid off of your heart, and it'll be all good, and you can go home the next day. Well, she ended up being in the hospital for 6 days, and we took the trip up, and we spent time with her. As soon as she got out of the hospital, we were at her house, and it was good, I guess. She's doing a lot better now. But it was kind of a whirlwind of a trip. It was 2,000 miles, which is about 4,000 kilometers, and we did that in like 2 weeks' time. And the way home, we drove straight home, which it was like 1,100 miles, and it took us 18 hours in 1 day. We started, I guess it was technically 2 days, because we started at 9 a.m. and we got home at 3 a.m. It was a nasty drive. But Mini Blitz was awesome. He slept about, I would say about 10 of those 12 hours, or 10 of the 18 hours. No, more than that. He slept probably 14 to 15 of them. So it was good. That's why we kept driving, is because he was fast asleep in his little car seat, snoring. Little dude was snoring. It was hilarious. Yeah, we got home, and that was like the first full week of October. What day was that? The 5th. We got home on the 5th at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it took me like all of that week to kind of just get feeling like human again. It was weird because it was all the same time zone. Like we started in one time zone and we ended in the same time zone. We drove for 18 straight hours, and like we felt jet lagged because it felt like time difference, and it was just strange. But it took us all week to get caught back up. And then that next week was doing awesome, like the 12th through the 16th. I was getting things back. I was doing some pre-recording. And then we got hit with the flu this past weekend. So like the 16th is when Mini Blitz got the flu, and then, nope, 15th he got the flu, and then my wife got it on the 16th, and then I got it on the 17th. And it was just a very fun weekend. And I use that term fun sarcastically, because there's nothing fun about having 103 fever and not being able to keep any fluids inside of any of the three of us, and then feeling completely exhausted. So I did want to get you guys caught back up what was going on. It was going to be, I had videos pre-recorded for the weekend because I was planning on going camping and fishing with a buddy of mine. Well, you got to get those videos, and I didn't get to go camping and fishing. I did camp in my bed, and that was pretty terrible. It wasn't very fun. But we had a good trip up to see the family. Went out. My dad had brought out the hunting guns, and we went and shot some clay pigeons and did some other fun stuff. I went to the cousin's wedding, and my wife and I, you guys from the Minnesota area, the Itasca State Park, which is like the headwaters of the Mississippi River. There's Lake Itasca, which is a glacial lake, and then that flows like 2,500 miles or something cool down to the Gulf of Mexico. So we went to the headwater, and it was really neat. The leaves were starting to change, and we got to drive around. It's something my wife and I did both when we grew up. We go there like every fall with our families. So we thought it would be fun to take a day there. We stayed in a cabin and just enjoyed it. And then we went to hang out with family again after that. So, it wasn't all like hospital stuff and other things. We went to my cousin's wedding, which was a little bit strange. I'll leave that alone, but it was an interesting story. It extended. He's like a fourth cousin. My grandfather's second cousin's kid. So kind of a way down the line. But it was good. It was good to see everyone again. And now they're planned on, my in-laws are going to come visit us in November. And then my parents are going to come over Christmas to visit us too. So we'll have some family coming down over the winter. So it's not us always flying back up or driving back up. But the new vehicle did very nicely. That we got, told you about that last time. Yeah, it did very nicely. It was a lot more comfortable than our 2004 Grand Prix with a couple 100,000 miles on it. So it did good. It was nice and a nice ride. We got 20. It was a Toyota Highlander. We got like 25 miles to the gallon on the trip too, so that's pretty good. It was finally nice to ride in a comfortable vehicle for 35 hours of round trip driving. So I guess that's kind of the personal news going up. I don't have anything. I hope I don't have anything big on the radar in the next month. I guess the in-laws are coming in a couple weeks, but nothing too strange or out of the way or anything critical. So I'm excited about that. Just be nice and relaxed. And we're hoping it'll go good. We already got the flu, so you can't really get that again unless it's a different strain, which I hope doesn't happen. Okay, well, we'll move on. I don't want to talk anymore. So, channel breakdown. So what's been going on? I guess since the last update, we have 12,500 new subscribers, which is really cool. That's up about 20% off of last month. So that's really awesome. And surprisingly, the third biggest series in the last month has been Ark Survival Evolved, like on driving new subscriber growth, which I find amazing because it's old video and they're not that good because the game was so bad. Like it was so laggy and so unoptimized when it first started out. But evidently there's a lot of traffic coming from it. I'll talk more about that later. And I did get my 100,000 subscriber plaque in the mail. We hit that, I don't know, a couple months ago, July, August, and I was finally able to get the plaque in the mail. I was expecting it November, December, but it showed up now. So I'm pumped about that. And I did get a camera. Actually, we got new phones, and the new phone we got records in 1080p. So that is being ordered, and it should be here Friday. That's an older version Motorola, but it should work out nicely. And 1080p, 30 frames per second. So I'll do an unboxing video this weekend if I get time. There's still some unfinished stuff that I've got going on, but I hope I can get some time to do that, and you guys can see the black when it gets here. So, let's see. Current games. What do we have going on right now? Well, we've got Terratech, Prison Architect, Planet Base, and Rebel Galaxy, not Rogue Galaxy. Terratech, I'm starting to get a little frustrated with it. Some of you guys have read into that. I don't really enjoy starting over games over and over again, which is why I quit Ark when I did, because I just kept starting over and over and over, and just it was not enjoyable to me. Terratech's starting to get that same way. Prison Architect is just being kind of just derpy fun. I'm really enjoying it, the escape mode of it. And now I've tried building some prison off camera, and I just don't know what I'm doing with it, and there's no real good tutorial, and the story mode doesn't really help out enough to like show what steps you need to do things in. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna skip building a prison and just do maybe 5 or 10 more episodes of the escape mode until everyone gets bored of it, including me, and then we'll move on to a different game. We'll see what happens with it. It's been fun. I'm really glad I did pick it up though, because I've been really enjoying playing it. And then we have Planet Base. Planet Base is going well. That's actually the second most, I guess, watched and new subscriber driving game is Planet Base, and that's going good too. And then we have Rebel Galaxy. So I'm about halfway done with Rebel Galaxy. That should put us somewhere around 30 episodes of it. And views aren't very high, but the guys who are watching it, the guys that are watching it and enjoying that game, are really enjoying it, which is awesome. So I'm hoping I can continue that one. I don't really want, if it's dropping down to like sub 1,000 views, I'm not going to continue it. But doing what's doing now, I'll hold on to it. So you probably will notice that the schedule has been just a little bit wonky too. Like I've got 4 games going, but 3 videos a day, like I typically do. And the videos are a little bit shorter length, or they have been recently. And that's because I've just been trying everything and getting everything figured out and trying to get the schedule going and figuring things, and having less time because I've been preparing to go on a vacation, I guess visiting my parents more than a vacation. So I'm hoping I can pump that back up a little bit more and getting a schedule up and running more. So what I'm planning on doing is 3 videos of a game in a row. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, say Terratech, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we'll take a day off. And then, so like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on, Thursday off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on. So it'd be 3 videos on, 1 off. So 6 videos a week of each game. And then we'll rotate that. So maybe Terratech will start Monday, and then, or it'll have its break Monday, and then Prison Architect will have its break on Tuesday, and then Planet Base will have its break on Thursday, and Rebel Galaxy will have its break on the next day. So it'd constantly be rotating. So you'd only wait 1 day for your favorite series to be back. And it's been a little bit wonky with that. I know it's been a couple days since I had a Prison Architect video, but it's just haven't had time, not with being sick. So that's kind of the way that the schedule's running. And we can continue doing that as long as I can, I guess. And then we got some future games coming up, and I've had a lot of comments about RimWorld. When am I going to bring back a modded RimWorld series? And the answer is, that's a kind of a complicated question, because Ty, the developer, has taken 6 months off, and currently we are about 2 months into the 6-month break. So we have a lot of time before development on Alpha 13 starts up, and I don't really want... I want to play it again, but I would rather have it when more development and more activity is going on with the game, if that makes sense. Because right now, like, the community's kind of sleepy, and the modding community is kind of, all of the mods have been updated to Alpha 12, so it's a good time to start, but there's not too much of an interest, new interest. I know there's a lot of you subscribers who are from RimWorld, but there's not too much interest coming into the game from outside. which is, it's kind of, I'd say about half of my total monthly views are from non-subscribers. So having a lot of outside eyes, as well as subscriber eyes, is very good for a series. It's what keeps it alive, more so. So I don't really want to make a long series of RimWorld by trying out some crazy mods and then nobody watch it. So I'm waiting until the hype kind of picks up a little bit more, or we get a little bit lack in the schedule, and then we can kind of go from there. I don't really have a date on it. I wouldn't think it'd be too much past end of November, but I've been saying I'm going to play Dwarf Fortress since July, so, I'm not really good at doing long-term scheduling like that, especially with all these games like Planet Base show up and Rebel Galaxy show up totally unnotified. Like, oh, here's a game that nobody's ever heard of. Here's a key for it. Let's play it. Okay. So I enjoy playing a new game more than an older game, but I enjoy RimWorld and Dwarf Fortress as well. So it's just a weird deal. And then my time is so limited working a full-time job and taking care of the needs of my wife and son too, and all of the other things, being a homeowner and a parent and all of that fun stuff take out. So it's not a huge priority right now, but we have plenty of time before the next version of RimWorld shows up. So that's cool. There's two other games that I've been contacted about that I'm excited but very hesitant on. One I'm not hesitant on, and the other I am. The first one is Anno 2205, which is a futuristic city builder by Ubisoft. And I actually got an email from Ubisoft saying, "Hey, Blitz, like what you're doing, will you play our game when it comes out in November?" And I'm like, yeah, I like the Anno games. I haven't played them, but I enjoy the concept and I enjoy the gameplay of them itself. So I'm going to be playing that. Not a sponsored series by any means, but I'll definitely be getting the key early. That's what the email notified me of. So I'm hoping that they'll send that to me when it's available. And then the other one is Fallout 4. And I didn't enjoy Fallout 3. But Fallout 4 has base building in it, which I enjoy. So, yeah, makes it tough. Like, am I gonna enjoy Fallout 4? Should I play it? Should I try it? And I should be getting the key here in like a couple of weeks because it comes out on the 10th. Should I play the game and see if I like it? I don't know. So I may do Fallout 4, and it's so hard too because I try to run a family-friendly environment, and then Fallout 4 is like the exact opposite of it. So we'll see what happens. I'm leaning towards no on Fallout 4, and I'm leaning towards yes, like a definite yes. Been in my calendar for months on Anno 2205. And then there is another game that I was recently contacted about, like this last week, and a very interesting proposition on it. And remember at the beginning I said we'll talk a little bit more about Ark Survival Evolved? Yeah, they have invited me to a server that has early access to the patches, like 1 to 2 days before public patches. So if there's a new dinosaur or a new event that happens in the game, then very, very good idea that I could potentially get those new dinosaurs or new events or new something before a lot of people will even see it. So there's really good potential for growth on it. I'm still in the talks with the guys who have the server right now, and I can't. One of the reasons I quit playing Ark was it was taking me like 3 hours to make one video, and I can't afford the time for that. So if they speed up like the growth rates and decrease the amount of resources, then I may jump back into that. And if so, it may be next week that I get into the game again. So it could be really cool. I could bring Ark back to the channel, which is a little bit strange. I wasn't really planning on it, but then they kind of blindsided me with the 1 to 2 days before public release. So it could be really cool. And I know the game has really progressed a lot, and it could be a lot of fun to play again because I really love the concept of it. It's just I didn't like all the bugs and the glitches and the unoptimized and the 10 frames per second that I was getting. And then the slow, like 2 hours to tame a T-Rex and an hour and a half Damon Triceratops. I just didn't have the time for that. So we may be playing Ark again very soon, and I'll see. I want your guys' feedback on that, and we'll see what happens with it. So I guess that's a whole lot of words in 20 minutes, and a lot going on, and really exciting time for the channel. I'm really excited to see where it's going. It's taken off a lot more than I thought it would. Definitely give me feedback, and definitely let me know what you're thinking and what's going on. And definitely keep your stick on the ice. We'll catch you next time.